Welcome to the Family Dynamics Podcast.
You have to just be willing to talk about these things, and you have to be willing to put it all on the table.
Learn firsthand from the power couple who's built a healthy relationship from major and minor issues,
The good, the bad, the ugly,
to triumphs of the family unit.
In this day and age, you need somebody by your side.
Utilize proven techniques and strategies to help your relationship and family thrive to the next level.
you have to compromise.
This is the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Welcome to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast. I am in the studio with my beautiful wife, Alicia Meeks.
Hey.
We are super excited. Do y'all like the branding? For the people who can see our branding, our branding on the screen. Comment below if you can see our branding. I'm super excited because we just officially launched our podcast this week or last week.
Last week on our anniversary.
Yeah, on our 7th year anniversary. So whoop whoop to us, 7 years. And
You say woo woo.
yeah, so I'm super excited because we launched our podcast and now we're not in the closet. We're not doing it in secret.
We've been in the closet since November 2020.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta, do stuff in private and make sure that you're sure about the commitment that you made to whatever it is that you did, and then present it to the world. Like, that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs now. That they're so much in a rush to do something and not even seeing if this really what you want to do, and can you do it at a level of excellence. Right. And I think that 10 episodes with 9/11 with this one, that we have proven that this is something we can do and this is something we want to do. We love to give to families. We love to talk about families. We was on the call. Shout out to my brother. His 34th birthday today. We was just out to dinner with him.
Happy birthday, Chris.
We was just out to dinner with him, and we was talking.
Jazz.
Him and his wife Jazz, and we was talking about marriages and cheaters and family on the way home. So it's like it's a part of us each and every day. Yeah, we was definitely talking about that. So I had some on my heart this week because it is some things that's been happening this week. People cheating. You got the whole Kirk Franklin thing, and the Kirk Franklin thing kind of struck a nerve with me because I've been co-parenting for a long time, and initially people have like a negative view of the way he, if you haven't heard about the Kirk Franklin deal, where he kind of was recorded by his adult son, 30 plus, and he was using some extreme profanity, which to me and my culture or the way I've been raised, like, that's nothing. But
well, it wasn't as horrible as people was making it seem, but the thing is that his son, that is the biggest issue that everyone's having. His son was intentionally trying to ruin his father's career.
Yeah.
The career in which he has benefited from. And even if you haven't benefited, but you have benefited from, why would you want to ruin your father's career over words? Because he cursed at you? Like, I know you want respect, but it just didn't play out right to me. I just feel like he didn't play the whole conversation. So that's suspect right there. Don't pick and choose which parts you want everybody to hear. And then by his father not knowing he was being recorded, not only was he, using extreme profanity, but you was controlling the narrative because you knew you were recorded. So then, therefore, you weren't saying all the things that you might have typically would say in that instance.
Right. And I guess that was my thing. Could Kurt had used other words or ways to communicate? I can't say yes. I can't say no. I mean, who else better besides a child, a loved one, to bring you to that much emotion to where you you are that upset. It had to be something. I have a family. Our family is not traditional in no sense of the word.
In no way.
So I can understand what Kirk as a father, not as the preacher, the psalmist, the gospel singer. I'm talking about Kirk Franklin as a father, as a man. Like, man, I understood him. The only problem I have with Kirk is his world apology online.
Yeah, I don't think he should have done
I don't think he should have done that.
You didn't owe the world anything.
You didn't owe the world nothing.
I didn't think he should have apologized to anyone. That was their family business. That shouldn't have been out in the public anyway. So that's his son who put it out there. But I guess he just felt like he needed to say something, which that's fine. I don't mind him saying something, but he doesn't owe us an apology. He didn't owe you, me, nobody. He didn't owe anyone an apology. That's his life.
Yeah.
And his family.
Real life, uncut. Like, that's my real life. And I'm
apologizing for something I'm doing in my real life that doesn't affect you.
And that's the problem with us as culture and us as people. We so judgmental, but then you will have a situation and won't understand it.
No, the next thing is, I mean, I agree with that, but I think the other issue with our culture is that and it even happens with us, like, because you share so much of your life to the public, then they feel as though they are entitled to know different things. So, like, for instance, when we got married, and we didn't tell anyone, I mean, sure, your family wants to be a part of that joyous occasion with you. And that's okay if they may feel disappointed that you got married and no one knew for 6 months. You can feel disappointed. You can have a human reaction to something that occurred, but it didn't occur to you. No one did anything to you. And so therefore, when it got to the point where certain individuals were angry, you're not entitled to have to be a part of any aspect of my life. So why do you think that you are? Now, you can have disappointment because you would have loved to be there. That's one point great. And, you know, I did feel like, my daughter wasn't even there. Only our mothers were there. And so, we had a ceremony later. But the point that I'm making is that because when you share so much of yourself to the public eye, and we're nowhere near where Kirk Franklin is, like, the whole world is paying attention to him and his family.
Right.
And certain people do feel that they're entitled to know, like, what's going on. Why were you cursing? Yeah. And then they brought up, was he Christian? Like, come on.
You're doing too much.
Man. He's a man.
He's a man, human.
He's not God. He's a man.
And
a human.
A human. And also that, you talking about, man, we will go ham in the drive-thru line. Imagine your own biological child betraying you, putting you out there. We don't know the full extent of the conversation. Come on, man. Come on, guys.
And then Ricky Smiley then put out a video talk about he talk about getting rid of garbage people out of your life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but because that's the thing. It's this forever thing with your children, and we haven't reached that pinnacle of parenting where we want to distance ourselves from our kids, and I pray that we don't have to experience that as parents, but there are boundaries with anyone, even the kids. There are boundaries that you have to place, and you have to allow what we're missing, or what people are missing. This is a full adult male.
Yeah.
So you want to be treated. Yeah. So now you want to be treated as a child. Mm-hmm. You want to be treated as an adult. Now you're a full adult male. If it wasn't me, if your father that you was doing this to, how would the streets or how would another male have treated you? Or would he get as much slander as Kirk is? Because
but would you have recorded?
That's what. No.
I just feel like that was some bitch ass.
Come on, man. I think
like,
that was.
Why did you record it?
You got to have some integrity, and it's your father, man. this your father.
Okay, you recorded it. That's one step. But then you put it out for the world, like for what?
Mm-hmm.
What type of gratification were you getting from that?
Right.
What did you want to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was somebody gonna give Kirk Franklin a whooping? Like,
right.
I need to know,
right.
like, what's his expectations? What was his motive? We know his motive was to ruin his father's career.
It was to ruin his father's career. And this is what I will say. I can't say this is against Kirk, but because he's a parent, I'm more than sure that this type of dialogue or the way Kirk articulated himself to his son has not been the first time.
No.
And but see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He wanted to show, look at my dad. This is how he communicates with me. Yeah, but
okay.
And
What? Okay, so your dad communicates and he curses at you.
Yeah.
And what? I mean, I don't get what. I don't know. I mean, other than ruin his father's career, I don't know what else he was seeking with this attention-seeking behavior.
That's what it is.
But it's looking real bad for him. It's not working out as good as he thought it was going to.
No,
it's backfiring actually.
Yeah, it's definitely
most. I mean, like there are some people like, oh my God, he was cursing. Are you a Christian? But the other one, it's more people that are understanding because he's human. No, ideally, you don't want to use those words all the time. I'm Christian, but I curse.
Yeah.
I can't even lie to you. And sometimes it just sounds better to get my point across to throw a few of those words in there. But I'm sure Kirk, he didn't want the world to know or hear him like that in anger. And it's embarrassing that your son was disrespecting you to the point in which pushed you, to that amount of anger. Yeah. So outside of just being embarrassed because he's cursing and he's, on a Christian platform, but also because now his dysfunction is on display.
And this is what I gotta see, and this is for the people who want to use that, this cancel culture. If someone's temporary actions, especially towards a family member of this magnitude, is a reason for you to cancel him, or you have he's such a role model to you, or a role model in some facets to you, and because something happens where he displays another side of himself in anger, that I gotta cancel him because he didn't fit your mental mold. Shame on you.
Cancel. So who did you feel was canceled?
Well, I'm saying a lot of people want to cancel Kirk because, I thought that you was this. You are a religious man. You a Christian. We don't act like that. Yeah. Come on. If you want to, if you put him that high,
go look in the mirror.
I'm trying to tell you, go look in the mirror.
I'm sure you've had some moments. If someone pushed you or took you to a level.
Because we're gonna put it on thing now. We get mad at our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do yell at them. I have cursed at them. It's just life, and they'll be okay. It's not child abuse. I definitely know what is abuse and what's not. Yeah. Being a certified child protection investigator, I'm very aware of what child abuse is, and it's not words. It's not words. It's not words. I mean, unless you're demeaning someone and emotional abuse. Verbal abuse. I guess people is calling that verbal abuse.
Come on, you 33 though.
Yeah, you a grown man. Now, if he was talking to a child that way,
you're 33.
You're
33. I can't give you the abuse deal at 33.
No, because it's way you a grown man.
You too old for that, man. You too old for that, man. But that was one of the things that I wanted to touch on because I do. And one of the things that I seen the interview was saying that he has a lot of resentment. I think the mother even said that he has a lot of resentment towards his father, being that they did have him at a young age in the teenage. She had him as a teenager. Mm-hmm. So I can see, and that's the part of co-parenting.
So he has to explain.
What I'm saying is that I have experienced that because I'm a teen father, and there are some resentments that build up and come with having children out of wedlock and having children in two different households, that the child does endure a lot of emotional trauma from what is they want it to look like. So it's years and years and years. So you thinking that he's 33, but he's still stuck in the little boy who wanted something from Kirk or wanted a relationship, because now his mother even said, or someone else even said, that he resents because the children he has with his wife now have a different life than what he grew up with.
Absolutely.
And they should. Because he's a different person than Kirk grew up. He's not a teenager when he had you.
Exactly. And that's the part, stuff that you feel like you shouldn't even have to explain. Like, how can I be the father that I am now if how old Kurt is, over 40 plus? How can I be this father with this type of wisdom and knowledge?
Exactly. And finances,
because that make a big difference too. So, you know, I can see where his son may have some feelings of resentment, but at some point, as a grown man, you have to let go. I mean, it's a crutch. Like, stop. Like, get up and walk.
But even if you don't let go, the father is on document. Even his mother was document that they have frequent counseling sessions. So it's not like the father is abandoning his feelings.
Right.
I'm not abandoning your feelings of feeling like you should have had a different lifestyle or a different upbringing like the other kids who came now.
No, and Kirk probably agreed. Like, yeah, I wish I could have provided you this, but I was a young father, and I wasn't able to. Or he was in the beginning of building his career and what have you.
And that was something that, just to be transparent with our audience, that was something that we had an issue with our youngest son, for me, because I had my son was born when I was 14 years old. My oldest son had when I was 14 years old. So I can understand his frustration or his misunderstanding of what it should look like. And my wife had to just really give it to him straight. Like, how can I catch you up? Or how can your father catch you up from years that you can't do it?
You can't. But I had to explain to him. I took our son on a date, and I had to explain to him, like, so what's really going on? You know, like, I don't know. I just feel like you feel some type of way, but what's going on? Because think about you. At that time, I think he was about 17. Mm-hmm. And I was like, think about you right now. If you were to have, you know, a baby. And then even in that moment, he was 3 years older than what his dad was. I said, right now, if you was to have a baby, what type of father would you be?
Exactly.
Let's just be honest. I mean, there's plenty. They had a whole TV series that's thriving and well, around 16 and pregnant and da-da-da-da. But, and those children, you know, some of them is turning out good, what have you, but it's a process. And I had to explain to him, like, what type of father would you be? Not even right now. Subtract 3 years.
Right.
I mean, how can you expect? But I'm sure, to put myself in his shoes, it's very hard to watch. It's very hard to watch. Because I can't say I was in college when my dad moved out of Harvey. And he moved to a nice neighborhood, big, humongous house. And I was like, dang, I would have liked to have grown up in here. You know, but I was in college. I was like a sophomore in college when he did that. So I grew up in the hood. But my stepsister and my stepbrother, they did not. They grew up in a cush, and I couldn't dwell. I mean, I could not dwell on it. I had to let it go. So, you know, I understood where he was standing in that moment, because now, even watching us have custody of our youngest son, and he sees like our youngest son is with his dad every day. Right. And he never had that.
Right.
You know, so I can see how he feels away. But back to Kurt's son, once you get 30, at what point are you moving on? Like, this is I don't know, it's just so deep.
And even if you don't move on, you have, it seems
you
like
cannot harbor those.
But I'm not harbor, but I'm saying, even if you're not moving on, there are resources that has been documented and said by the father, the stepmother, the mother, that they're actively trying to get you help and trying to see to try to help you through what they know is the issue for you.
Oh, it's a major issue. This is just on display now.
They know.
If you didn't know, now you know. Because what he just did, put everything out on the table and shined a bright light on it.
Yeah.
So even if he didn't know, now it's documented all across the world, and he can play it back and see the error of his ways.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Sometimes the things that people go through, the things that people go through as children severely affects the type of husband, man, father, human being in society that they become because of childhood trauma, issues, drama, love, or lack thereof. It affects who you are as a person, and that also goes for women too. But I'm just saying, we talk about men right now. But yeah, it was deep.
No, it was super deep, and I pray that everything works out for the son and works out for Kirk, because I know he's hurting about that, because that would definitely hurt me as a father to see that and to know that you are actively betraying me and you want to tear me down.
Yeah, that's hard.
For whatever. Like that was a conversation between me and you as men and as son and as father. Mm-hmm. You don't have to like what I say, but you didn't air out the portion that you trigger me, because I said this before. No one's, unless you are insane, no one's just actively. You're not sitting. You sat there as like a damsel because you know you was recording, but no one's sitting there and just going off on you for no apparent reason. There's a reason behind that.
I'm gonna say Kurt is responsible for his own actions, and I'm happy that he took responsibility, because no one can make you do anything.
Sure.
Someone can say something that pissed you off, but your response is your own, that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this entire thing being played out in the media and to the public, that made it times 10. But I also agree with Ricky Smiley. Sometimes you do have to let family go, friends, whomever is disrupting the peace in your life.
Absolutely.
Whomever it may be, whatever their titles are. Like, I'm so sick of titles. It's not about a title to me. It's about how I feel when I'm in your presence. And if your spirit, them vibes ain't right, I'm not going to be around, because I don't have to subject myself to nothing like that. I don't have to subject myself to sit in a room in which I know I may be the topic of discussion when I get up from the table.
Right.
That part.
And you know what? I think we've had this conversation. We have so many conversations off camera. We got to stop bringing this stuff to camera, guys. But why do we put so much? We give the family, the extended family, or just the family period, so much power in our relationships to where they are a factor.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, just case in point about, our marriage. When we got married. Oh. Yeah, like family get some type of leeway in your situation, and we don't immediately say okay, I'm not dealing with that. That's your problem. Because in essence, that's your problem, that you have a problem that we didn't disclose our vow between us and God.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that slow. We have to be treated away because we made a vow between us and God.
And we were treated away.
You know what I'm saying? And we move forward from that now. But I'm just saying.
But I think the reason why
But I'm just saying, it's a lot of people that are not getting married, moving forward, because this one isn't in the wedding. This one, you know what I'm saying? We have so many. That's what I'm saying.
I was just in a group today, and this young lady was in there saying that she wanted her mother to walk her down the aisle, but she was concerned about how everybody else was going to take it because she's the mother of the bride. Why don't she just be the mother of the bride? And I was quick to say, let your mother be whoever she wants to be on your wedding day if you want her to. Like, what other people feel about it matters not. And my mother was untraditional. My mom walked me down the aisle. I didn't have a father walking me down the aisle. Right. So my mom walked me down the aisle, and that's very not traditional. And she gave me away. And I'm so thankful for those moments that I allow her to have in my wedding because she's not here now. So let your mother do whatever you and her want her to do. And don't worry about the outsiders because guess what? No matter what you do, somebody will have something to say.
That's
you cannot please everyone. And I can't lie, I did used to try to please people. But I'm done with that. I'm living my life the way I want to live it and whatever makes me happy. Period. Just like that.
But say that to them people that if you start that way, where even in a wedding or even in getting married,
you're gonna keep doing it in every aspect of your life. But you were saying that why is it that, you know, we or whoever else allows family to, you know, for that to become an issue with their opinion or feelings, comments, questions, and concerns. I feel it's because we care about them. We love them. Yeah. We love them. And we know deep down I know. I mean, I don't know if it's my psychology telling me, but I know that deep down inside, it's really not anger for some people. Because some people just want to be invited just to say they was invited to, to come see, talk about what happened, and pick your stuff apart. Let's just be honest. But then there's those other people that truly love you, truly are happy for you, and have been with you through the struggle and would have liked as far as me, I had a struggle and would have liked to be a part of the joyous occasion. And I get that. And I'm so sorry that you weren't because I love you. But on the other hand, when it turns to the anger, that's when the dysfunction and toxicity sets in because that's toxic and it's dysfunctional and somewhat delusional because you actually think that you're entitled to be somewhere. You would have liked to be, but you're not entitled. No one stole anything from you because it wasn't about you. And in that moment in which we said I do, the only thing we were thinking about was us and God. We weren't doing something to a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like a lot of times, and that's why, again, I agree with Ricky Smiley 1,000%, but he called these people garbage people out of your life. But I wouldn't call them garbage people, but anybody or anything that's disrupting your peace, making you feel a way, whatever type of way that is, everybody can't come. Everybody can't come.
Yeah, and the reason why I brought that up is because there's a lot of people, especially you having a group. I'm sure there's a lot of people that they are apprehensive of making certain decisions on their relationship or their marital relationship due to a family member's view or family member's view or a tradition of family. When we first got married, we broke all of the traditions. I know there was a time when you guys used to get together every Sunday, and we started creating our own traditions where we was going out of town for Christmases and stuff like that, and we wasn't doing what everybody else or what was traditionally done. And I know it's a lot of people that have a fear or they very scared to even do that because well, we do it this way. Well, this is
that way can change.
This can change.
Yeah,
and then there are family members are angry or upset because you're not continuing on
the way you
the way
were.
you were, or
And
the way
it
you
doesn't
do it.
have anything to do with them.
Nothing.
It's just about what you're doing now in your new normal.
Yeah.
So what's so bad about us making a tradition for every Christmas to take our kids on a vacation
To
instead
expose
of
them to the world or life outside of like
yeah
or whatever it is. If you just want, like we've had
or you yeah
we've had Thanksgiving and Christmas just at our house. We didn't do the whole we're gonna run to the aunties and grandmas to this and that. We did what we did for our household to create our memories, not our memories to run around, which it was okay and that was great for those times that we did that, but that's not what we're doing. And it's not that what we're saying, guys, is say, oh, we just love breaking the molds. No,
it's just about creating your own. Like if we both had two demanding families, which we don't, but if we both had two, because it was kind of easy getting Kevin to come to my family's events because his family doesn't really get together like that. So it wasn't a push pull. But let's just imagine his family and my family were very much the same, whereas they get together for every single everything. And then we're making waves trying to be octopus, being here and there, and everybody's something. Like at some point, what traditions are you gonna have in your household, in your family unit? That's extensions.
No.
Those are extended family members. So what traditions are you going to start in your home? And I recall for Thanksgiving and a few other holidays, my mom and my sister would come over and Kevin's family member, whoever was here at the time, but definitely his brother and her wife, they would come over. But yeah, we started a tradition in our home. And it's okay.
Yeah, it's
like,
okay.
I don't know why every change is met with negativity
or resistance.
Like, it's positive. I mean, maybe you want us there, or, and I do miss. I miss the family the way it was in the past, but I also embrace my present.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm happy about some of the solitude because it's necessary and needed at times.
Because this is the thing. Our family is hard enough. One, like we said, our family isn't traditional. Our immediate family is hard enough, and it's not traditional. To bring our family to bring our family together in one setting at one time, at one sitting, and one schedule is hard enough. So we try to build and we try to cultivate and nourish those times that we have, and we don't want to feel pressure to be in the traditional family space when my family needs right now. I want to give to my family. I want to nurture our family.
With us being a blended family, you're right, because I would say that's what our most recent photo shoot.
Oh man,
it was a headache trying to get the outfits together. Like, I did a whole vision board with the outfits, making sure everybody was gonna coordinate, and then we had to get the dates and then see if the teenagers could make it because they had jobs and see if they can. And it was just a whole production.
Yeah.
And so, our most recent photo shoot last week was me and Kevin, because it's a lot to get these kids together. One might be at his mama's house for the weekend. The two teenagers is doing whatever they gotta do and gotta work, and it was just so hard to coordinate. It's not like if you are unblended and you can say, look, tomorrow wake up.
Right.
Where you going?
Right.
You can't say that because this one is over here, that one is over there. And it's just a whole production. So therefore, as he speaks about holidays, like, we may not have seen one of the kids
I'm trying to tell you.
for whatever amount of time, and we may not want to give them undivided. We may want to give our undivided attention to them.
Yeah.
We may want to have a family day with them in our home so they can, love on each other and, communicate and catch up or what have you.
And then because if you're a parent out there, you already know that your kids, It's 1 minute they're in diapers and the next minute they talking about driving. So we're trying to get as much as we can in. We got 2 kids right now in college, and one in spring break and trying to be individuality, and the other one is doing her own thing. So when they come in, man, we sounding an alarm and closing the door because we trying to get, hey, what's up? What you need? What's on your mind? What you've been going through? What you worked through? We ain't seen you. So I don't want to divide my time between other family members and then I miss that time. You know what I'm saying? And it's no shade to other family. And the reason why we saying this because we know a lot of families deal with this, and a lot of families are going through like what they call it, they have so much strife in their marriage because they so divided. One, maybe it's the wife or maybe it's the husband. Oh, I got to be at this with my family. I got to be with this with my. But we can't. I'm sorry, we can't.
No, and it's true because there are lopsided families like that. Like I was saying with just even us, if your family was as eventful, I don't know what is a good word. If they, got together as much as my family did in the beginning, like that would have been difficult. But then also, it still may have felt the way to you because we were always going to my family's events and everything. Sometimes you want to be in your own home, creating your own memories. Like even if you have a father and it's Father's Day, this Father's Day, you might want to just honor your husband.
Yeah.
Honor him for being the great father to your kids that he is. And your dad may not be able to come, even if he's free, because you're giving your undivided attention to your husband and the father that he is. And it's okay. No one said don't get your daddy a card or take him a gift. No one said that. But there may be times in which every single Father's Day you're not splitting in between. Maybe your husband wants your undivided attention. I'm just saying.
That's the one thing that I love a lot about your mother is because she respected the boundaries and she allowed, like she knew, I don't know how, but she knew like I have to get in here. But they have their own thing, and she finessed it extremely well. Finessed it to the point where it taught me something that when my daughter and my sons have relationship that you're in, but then you step back, and it's nothing that like I noticed in the immediate. It's only because now rest her soul, she's gone. I seen that we was talking the other day like. Man, she really made that work. Like I didn't notice that at that time, but she really made that the way she was super present, but then she was like, whoa, like she wasn't
overbearing.
No, she wasn't
overbearing, and she was never intrusive. And so that's what made it easy for her, and she did respect boundaries. So if we didn't call her, she wasn't whining on the phone. She was calling us and saying, hey, what's up? I ain't heard from you. What's going on? What's going on, baby doll? That's what she used to be saying. So, she didn't take it personal immediately, just, oh, it must be, oh my God. No, she took it as you may have been busy.
Right.
I can dial out on the phone too. And the phone works both ways. So I just think that those boundaries are major.
They major.
The boundaries are major, and we're not responsible. When I say we, I'm talking about everybody who's listening. And you're not responsible for other people's perception of something, because just because they perceive it doesn't make it Bible, and it doesn't make it what it is. So if they perceive it, oh, you didn't come to this, and take offense to it, and your intent wasn't to, all you are responsible for is your intentions. God knows your heart. And so if your intention wasn't to do something to them, You were just living your life. Like you woke up that morning and decided you were going to do whatever you were going to do. And it may or may not have included a person.
Sure.
It's not like you woke up and said, I'm purposefully not going to go here to make a stance. Like, I call it a boycott. You know? Like, I'm a boycott Thanksgiving. No, don't want to boycott Thanksgiving. We're having our own Thanksgiving. That's it. It's okay.
Yeah. So, if you are, and I can't say turmoil, if you are back and forth with the, making those decisions or making those adjustments with your family, we're biased. We will always say choose your immediate family, and everybody else should make the adjustments and pivot, like my wife said all the time, for you, because nothing should stay the same.
No,
and
if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yeah, if nothing changes, nothing
changes.
Things
have to change. Everything can't just stay the same. It just can't. It cannot. It
can't. Well, because even we had even thought about, and not to label you guys too long, but we had even thought about spending, I think it was around the Thanksgiving time with our daughter and running down there and seeing her. And that was very untraditional, which I think she was busy at the time, but we had thought about, but we are okay with being chameleons as parents and as a family unit, because I guess maybe it's easier for us because we are traditional, but I think it would be even easier if all of our children was the same parent, to me, because then we don't have another outside source to say this or say that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that life is so short that make the adjustments. If your family is having an issue with you continuing their tradition, why the tradition is this year you come to our home and have dinner with us, because it wasn't like, or it isn't like when we have things going on that you can't come.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But this is what we're doing. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You're welcome to join us.
Right.
Let me know you coming so I can have enough crab legs for you. Because even with that, our Thanksgivings are not turkey and ham. We have seafood Thanksgivings. Just whatever. Like it just each year is something else. And we just pivot.
Man, you just pivot.
If I feel like cooking, if I feel like getting a cater, it just is. Everything doesn't have to. Every year it's a mystery. I don't know what we doing for Thanksgiving this year.
Right.
It'll be a mystery, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So just to go back to the Kirk Franklin situation, I am in support of the father, and maybe I'm a bit biased with that, but I feel like the adult male, he was extremely wrong for betraying and exploiting, I guess that's the word, his father in that way. And I don't feel no type of way about the language that he used. And when it comes to family, life is short, guys, and don't allow the external family members to affect or infect your house, your internal house, in a way to where it causes strife or causes tension in your house because of events. It's too easy to make a decision or just not make one. Like we just not. And that's what I love about my marriage, that we don't quarrel over issues like that. So this is the Family Dynamics with Kevin and Alicia Meeks. And as I always say, we'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Thank you, guys.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to follow us on social media at The Family Dynamics.
We'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye.